What's up YouTube? Ted Naiman here, primary care doctor in Seattle, coming at you with another video. And I've spent the last 20 years researching diet and exercise and health. And what I came up with is that the entire global obesity and diabetes and metabolic syndrome epidemics can be squarely blamed on refined carbs and refined fats, which have been dumped into the human food supply, lowering satiety per calorie so everyone's eating more. And refined carbs and refined fats lower satiety per calorie and make people overeat by two specific mechanisms. First of all, these refined carbs and fats dilute protein and minerals in the human food supply, so you literally have to eat more calories just to not be hungry. Protein dilution. On the other hand, the combination of high energy density carbs and fats together is extremely tasty and rewarding, and it spikes dopamine in your brain. This is a combination that's rarely found in nature. So when omnivore mammals eat these high energy density carbs and fats together, we love this and we massively overeat it. And you can basically take any kind of human junk food and it's a high energy density carb and fat together, like pizza and donuts and french fries and potato chips and candy bars. And you can actually fatten any omnivore mammal, like a lab rat, by just feeding it the trifecta, we call it, of high energy density plus high carb plus high fat all together. All right, so I wrote this entire book called The PE Diet. I wrote it with William Shufelt. And what this diet is about is looking at your food from a protein versus energy standpoint. And I made a little calculator online and a little system of looking at your diet in a graphical format. The calculator is at p2eq.com, and this stands for protein to energy quotient, and it kind of graphs out grams of protein versus grams of non-protein energy, and that would be net carbs and fat. So basically protein and fiber grams are good and raise your protein to energy ratio, and total fat and net carbs are bad and lower your protein to energy ratio. And the whole point of this diet is to take whatever you're eating now and target something that's a little bit higher in protein and fiber and a little bit lower in net carbs and fats. So we wrote this book called The PE Diet, and it's all about qualitative dieting rather than quantitative dieting. So instead of just taking what you're eating now and trying to eat half the calories, which is never going to work because you're going to be hungry, you try to make food substitutions. You focus on what you're eating rather than how much you're eating. When you substitute out foods that are higher in protein, higher in fiber, lower in net carbs and fats, you'll just automatically eat less because you have a higher satiety per calorie. So this is really a way of avoiding refined carbs and avoiding refined fats by eating more protein and fiber. Okay, all right, so also in the book we realize that you're never going to reach your optimum health and body composition unless you do exercise, and you want to do two very specific forms of exercise, resistance and cardio. And in the book, we talk about how to do optimal resistance training and optimal cardio training. And what you're really doing with exercise is trying to get a positive adaptation from your body. So you want your body to change. And the only time that your body's going to change is if it really has to. You have to give it a really good reason. So in the book, we focus on intensity of effort as the most important variable. You want high intensity resistance exercise all the way to failure, and high intensity cardio too, with a really high intensity of effort, so you get these positive adaptations from your body. So in the book, we're targeting intensity as most important variable for both resistance and cardio. And we're recommending that everybody do both of these. And we try to teach people how to do optimal, most time efficient cardio and resistance exercise. Okay, so I wrote this book. It's all about qualitative dieting, higher in protein fiber, lower in carbs and fats, optimal resistance exercise, optimal cardio. And imagine how happy I was to come across Coach Greg Doucette's YouTube channel, because he's really preaching a lot of the same stuff. Coach Greg is all about qualitative dieting as well instead of quantitative dieting. He's not specifically tracking macros and calories. He's just taking all the foods that he would normally eat and substituting out things that are a little bit higher in protein, higher in fiber, lower in net carbs and fats, and thus calories. And he's coming up with foods that have higher satiety per calorie where you automatically eat less. It's a brilliant plan. It's a brilliant program. I love this. So I love his approach. Coach Greg is also really into exercise, and he's trying to educate people how to do optimally efficient resistance exercise, and also optimal cardio exercise as well. And his whole mantra of harder than last time is brilliant. That's awesome. I love that. It's all about intensity of effort, and I do think that's the most important variable. I also love Coach Greg's attitude in general. He's just extremely positive. You can tell he's truly passionate about diet and exercise and health. You can tell he really wants to help people. Everything he says is very accurate and reliable and fact-based, and I think his approach is brilliant. So it resonates so much with me and what I wrote in the book that I just absolutely love his content. So of course I bought Coach Greg's cookbook. I bought his first cookbook. I bought his second cookbook. I love his qualitative approach. He's taking all the foods that someone would normally eat, and he's substituting out things that are higher in protein, higher in fiber, lower in net carbs, and lower in fats. All the protein sources are a little bit leaner. All the carb sources are a little bit higher in fiber. He's constantly trying to shave down grams of carbs, grams of fat. I love these cookbooks. I love the general approach. I also plugged in all the macronutrients and realized that this is an extraordinarily high protein diet, about 42% protein, also very, very high fiber per calorie, about 26 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories, which is way higher than the standard American diet and even higher than the standard recommendations. So this book and this approach is really excellent, and I highly recommend it. I think this is great stuff. Now, I understand that some people think that $150 is too much to pay for a book, and I have to admit that just on the face of it, no collection of recipes in a PDF should be costing $150. However, I think you're getting more than just a collection of recipes in a PDF. You're getting this entire concept, this entire mindset of taking the foods that you would normally eat and substituting out foods that are higher in protein and fiber, lower in net carbs and fats. And I think this approach is brilliant. I think it's worth way more than $150. It might be worth $1,500. It might be worth more than that to some people. So you're not just getting recipes in a PDF. You're getting a practical guide to how to implement food substitutions to improve satiety per calorie, to qualitatively diet and not worry about quantity, eat to satiety and automatically eat less because you're getting more protein and fiber, less net carbs and fats, and higher satiety per calorie. I also really appreciate how non-religious and non-dogmatic Coach Greg is. So in the past, in my search for optimal diet and exercise, I've been involved in a lot of different diet religions out there. I was plant-based for a long time. I was a vegetarian. I was low-fat. I've been religiously paleo, low-carb, keto, you name it. I've really tried all of these. And what I've realized is that once you understand satiety per calorie and protein versus energy, you can kind of transcend all the diet religions and employ this style of dieting with any diet pattern or diet religion. You can always get protein and fiber higher and net carbs and fats lower, no matter what diet religion you've signed up for. And you really don't have to be religious at all. You can kind of transcend diet religions once you've figured this out. And in fact, when everybody realizes that it's all about protein versus energy and getting protein and fiber higher and net carbs and fats lower, then I think a lot of the diet religions just kind of fall by the wayside, because you don't have to sit there and say, oh, is this paleo or is this keto? Can I eat it? You can really just sort of mix and match, and you're taking all the good parts of the diet religion and leaving all the dogma behind. So I love this approach. Very refreshing. Escape dietary dogma, escape diet religions, and kind of do whatever you want once you understand these rules of engagement. Oh, also, this is Purr Meowington, or Peeps the cat, and I appreciate Coach Greg's pets because I've got 2 cats and a dog running around here causing problems. Okay, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to end it here. Check out Coach Greg Doucette. I love his YouTube channel. I like his recipes. I like his recipe book. And also, if you're more interested in this qualitative protein versus energy approach, you can check out the book I wrote with The PE Diet. It's available at thepediet.com as a $20 PDF, and it's also on iBooks, Kindle, and you can buy a hard copy at thepediet.com or anywhere books are sold online, like Amazon or Barnes & Noble or whatever. Alright, so if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. I'll make another one at some point, and I'm ending it here. We'll talk